welcome you watching Don Bosco Media Network. This is Mona Lisa Rambai, brings you the Salesian news across the globe. The influence of St. Francis de Sales on Don Bosco was also manifested in the youth saint's great passion for communication. He expressed it with the means of his times, but in all its forms, developing it from beginning to end, from the elaboration of texts to their printing and dissemination. All and always to spread the good news and work in the service of youth. In the first constitutions of the Society of St. Francis de Sales of 1875, Don Bosco wrote that the Salesians shall endeavor to spread good books among the people, using all those means that Christian charity inspires. And in the special circular sent to the Salesians in 1885, he added, "Among these means of apostolate, which I intend to warmly recommend to you for the glory of God and the health of souls, is the diffusion of good books. I do not hesitate to call this means divine, since God himself availed himself of it for the regeneration of man. It was the books inspired by him that carried righteous doctrine throughout the world. It is therefore up to us to imitate the work of the Heavenly Father." Already 11 months have passed since that terrible February 24th, 2022, when the war in Ukraine began. In the rushing whirlwind of events and their communication, the images of the many Ukrainians fleeing to Western European countries have now become almost faded. The war that was supposed to be swift has become positional and attritional, and while entire Ukrainian towns and cities have become scorched earth, millions of Ukrainian citizens, mostly women, the elderly and children, continue to live outside their homeland. The Salesians of Slovakia have been at their side since the first hours of the beginning of the conflict, taking in orphaned and needy minors from Lviv from the very beginning, and then opening their doors to as many people as possible. And despite the passage of time and all the difficulties that a sustained and enduring effort entails, they still continue to care for them today. On the occasion of the feast day of St. Francis de Sales, patron saint of journalists, the Holy See Press Office published the Holy Father's message for the 57th World Communications Day, WCDS, which this year will be celebrated in many countries on the 21st of May 2023. The themes chosen this year by Pope Francis is Speaking with the Heart, the Truth in Love. As part of the work of the General Council's winter plenary session, the Rector Major of the Salesians, Father Angel Fernandez Artime, with the consensus of the other General Council members, appointed Father Fernando Miranda Ustero as the next Provincial Superior of the Salesian Province of Spain, Mary Help of Christians, SMX. Currently, Provincial Vicar Father Fernando Miranda Ustero shall succeed Father Angel Azurmendi in the post of Superior of the SMX province, a province that Group Salesian works in Andalusia, Aragon, the Balearic Islands, the Canary Islands, Catalonia, the Valencian Community, Extremadura and the region of Murcia, and which has its headquarters in Seville. Yesterday, the 24th of January, for the liturgical feast day of St. Francis de Sales, a preview of the video that aims to render current aspects of the figure of the patron saint of journalists was published at the Cube Radio. The short film was produced by the young reporters of Cube Radio, the academic station of the Salesian University Institute of Venice, in view of St. Francis de Sales as the patron saint of journalists, and will take place inside the theological studio of the Basilica of St. Anthony in Padua on January 28th. Direction and video editing of the short film are by Matteo Contrain, graphics by Marika Paduan, who also penned an illustration that updates the figure of St. Francis de Sales, while editorial coordination is by Aurora Simonato, programming manager of Cube Radio. The research path we activated on the figure of the Holy Bishop of Geneva, Simeonato, explains, revealed to us the physiognomy of a man capable of communicating through images and convincing without opposing. Yesterday as today, however, the path of receiving information is distorted by mental shortcuts that lead us to select information homogeneous to our thinking rather than to seek the truth. We can activate training pathways to try to brush aside cognitive base. So viewers, that is all we have for you today. Until we meet again, thank you for watching.